Anza sungura wawili na sasa hivi tumeongelea sungura tu zaidi ya 300 kwa sasa. Ni Kilimo Leo, kipindi ambacho kiko hewani. Zidi tu kunena nasi kupitia mitandao zetu za kijamii, Facebook, Twitter na Instagram. Kote tu utapata ndani ya DGTV Kenya, YouTube DGTV Kenya. Mimi ni Humphrey Murunga. Sasa wacha tupate tu uhondo kamili tu kutoka kwa Bian ambaye amebobea kwenye tu ufugaji wa sungura. Atupe safari yake ilianza vipi na ni changamoto zipi amezipitia na nini haswa kimemfanya asalie kwenye shughuli hii ya ufugaji wa sungura. Bian, japo nishakutambulisha pale kwa mtazamaji wetu, lakini nawe pia unaweza jitambulisha rasmi tu, uambie yule mtazamaji wetu tuko wapi hapa na wewe ni nani?
Okay, my name is Langa. I'm a rabbit farmer here in Thika, sub-county of Kiambu County. We are based in Kegajo along Garissa Road. Yeah, I started rabbit farming around 5 years ago, and I started with 2 rabbits, and I came through some few challenges which made me stop rabbit farming for like 6 months, and then I got back into it again. So when we talk about rabbit farming, there are things that we are supposed to consider, like how you do your cages, about breeding, about market, disease and disease control, or about that.
Before we come into disease and everything about the rabbit rearing, wacha tuanze na hili Bian. Nini haswa kilicho kuchochea ukaamua wacha uanze ufugaji wa sungura? Licha kwamba ulianza na sungura wawili, sasa hivi tunazungumzia zaidi ya sungura 300.
Okay, I started rabbit farming because of my children. They were talking about rabbits every now and then, and I thought I should get them 2 rabbits as pets. But immediately I bought the 2 rabbits. I went into Google and Facebook, and I found people were doing it as a business. So that is how I decided to venture into it as a business, and that motivated me. Now that people are doing it and there was market, I decided to do it as commercial farming on my side. And since that day up to now, we are doing it as commercial rabbit farming.
Then sasa hivi tunazungumzia biashara ambayo imeonekana kukupatia faida tu kwa kiwango cha juu. Na Bian, wacha huo wakati ambao ulianza ufugaji wa sungura, ulianza na sungura wawili. Hapo hela ulitumia pesa ngapi labda kuanza na sungura wawili?
Okay, sungura wawili nilitumia kiwango cha 7,000 because I was buying 1 rabbit at 3,500. Yeah, but then I had to construct my cages. I did 4 cages for a start. Then I bought the feeding bowls, the nesting boxes. So I started with a total of 20,000
shillings.
Yeah.
Na sasa hivi tunaongelea how much?
Okay, with 300 rabbits, we are talking of around an investment of 400,000 and above.
Yeah. Nice one. Kabla kuanza ufugaji wa sungura, mtazamaji wetu mwenye anatazama sasa hivi inafaa azingatie nini ndiposa ajitose pia kwenye ufugaji wa sungura? Kabla ya kuanza ufugaji wa sungura anafaa angazie nini kwanza?
Okay, before you start rabbit farming or before you venture into it, number 1, you should think about market. Then how committed you will be in that business. It requires commitment and determination. Then you must have passion of these animals.
Talking of the market, how is the market?
Market is very huge. In fact, we have high demand. We do not have enough supply in this country, but we are trying our level best to do multiplication all over the country. So we keep on urging those who are coming up to do it with more seriousness, so that we are able to supply meat to all those in need.
Na umezungumzia mambo na market hapo. Sasa hivi sungura wako huwa uko na specific market hapa Thika ama uko na orders across the country?
Okay, I have orders across the country. Mostly I sell breeder rabbits to upcoming farmers, but I also sell rabbits for meat, and I buy rabbits from farmers myself. I slaughter and I sell meat to hotels.
Before talking the importance of rabbit meat, let's talk about the types of these rabbits. How many types do we have?
Okay, we have more than 20 breeds of rabbits, but the most common ones that we rear here in the country, most those that are meant for meat, we have the New Zealand white, we have California white, chinchilla, both American and standard, we have Flemish giant, we have checkered giants, we have Havanas and Dutch. We are also doing some ornamental rabbits like the Angora, Lilac, Cinnamon, Silver Martens, and several others.
Do we have differences between these breeds?
Yeah, we have differences.
What are these differences we're talking about here?
We recognize them by their colors, yeah, and the body size too.
Na wacha tuzungumzie upande sawa uzazi wa hawa wanyama. How long do they take before giving birth?
Okay, the gestation period of a rabbit is 28 to 32 days. So once you take your doe to the birth cage, you start counting from that day, 28 days. On the 25th day, that is when you introduce a nesting box in the cage, and that is where the mother doe is supposed to give birth. But in case she doesn't give birth inside the box, then you can correct the young ones and place them in the box yourself. Make sure they are safe, make sure they are warm by maybe holding the mother doe, cracking some fur on the leg sides and the belly, and covering the young ones. Then they continue breastfeeding.
Okay, kwa mazao mazuri ya sungura, what do we have to consider?
Okay, for your rabbits to give birth to healthy kids and for them to stay healthy, especially the mothers, then we have to consider about feeding. How you feed your rabbits is very important. Then the environment they stay in. Number one, when we talk about feeding, your rabbits must be fed on a balanced diet, whereby like us here we do rabbit pellets, which is a combination of different minerals, vitamins, then starch and some hay in it. Then we also do hay as part of the daily feed. So hay must be in that cage from morning to evening and every now and then, because that supplements fiber and it's useful for digestion. Then when we come to the environment, the surrounding environment, when your rabbits are safe and they are in a clean environment, again they are able to produce the way it should be, because like when we have noises, outside noise like from dogs, hooting cars, then when they give birth they tend to eat their young ones. But when the environment is clean and the environment is safe, then they feel their kids are safe and they bring them up the intended way.
Talking about feeding process, how often do we feed these rabbits in a day?
We feed our rabbits twice a day. So in the morning we give pellets and then we give hay. In the evening we add more hay. Hay supplements to 70% of a rabbit's feed, then pellets 10 to 20%. Yeah.
Now talking about the young ones of these rabbits, hawa sungura huzaa kama watoto wangapi hivi?
Okay, rabbits can give birth from 1 to 20 kids, but mostly for us commercial breeders, there is a way we are able to regulate that, because a doe ovulates when the buck mounts. So once you take your doe to the buck's cage, if the buck mounts like twice or thrice, then you're able to get an average of 6 to 8 kids. If you want more, let the buck continue serving. The more she ovulates, the more they get fertilized. The eggs get fertilized and she can give birth to more kids. Where we say a minimum of 6 to 8, it's because the rabbit has got 8 teats. We want them to be breastfed well so that they all grow healthy. We will not have any that are left behind that have retarded growth due to lack of enough milk.
Wacha tukuje kwa upande wa magonjwa pia, labda sungura huwa wanagonjeka kama pia wana matibabu fulani?
Okay, on the side of disease and management and control, I always say, number one, if you want your rabbits to stay healthy, you must do your clean cages, and that is why we do self-cleaning cages, whereby the droppings and the urine all go down to the iron sheet down there, whereby we sweep the droppings out and the urine again goes through the gutters to the correction area. So when your rabbit is in a clean environment, then most of the diseases we are able to prevent them. Number one disease that you prevent by cleanliness is like ear canker and mange. That is caused by mites. Mites thrive in dirty environments. So with the clean environment, we do not have those mites, and ear canker and mange will not affect your rabbits. Again, you can do an ivermectin injection after every 3 months. That one also keeps the mites away from your rabbits. The other disease we talk about is like snuffles. Snuffles is a type of cold or homa kwa sungura. So this one is brought about by direct weed to the cages and cold. So when you are doing your cages, make sure they are free from cold and free from direct weed. Snuffles is not treatable, though we suppress it using antibiotics. So the best thing is to prevent. Again, dusty foods like dusty pellets and dusty hay can also give your rabbits snuffles. The other disease we talk of is worry neck. Worry neck, you mostly find it in those that are mothering. When they are almost close to giving birth, you find they twist their head down, and once they have the twisted head, they are not able to walk straight. It's a disease of the nerves, mostly due to cervical contractions, but it's not common. Then the other disease we have bloat. Bloat is brought about by what we feed our rabbits. Like us here in the farm, we always do dry feeds, so our hay is well dried and free from molds. Our hay is also free, our pellets is also free from molds and dust. So when you are giving the right feeds, again, bloat will not be a problem. But if they have that problem, then we use liquid paraffin to suppress the bloat, and that way they are able to survive. Maybe at times they may not survive because a rabbit has one stomach. It's not like the cows and the goats. So when the stomach ruptures due to that gas, then they die. The other disease we talk about is sawhawks. Sawhawks is brought about by some wires in your cages. If you don't do your cages neatly and they prick the rabbit's legs, that is how they get those vidodas down there kwa miguu. And those wounds you can only treat them by cleaning with hydrogen peroxide, then maybe use some grabacin antibacterial powder to heal the wounds. Those are the common diseases we have in rabbits. We also have coccidiosis. Coccidiosis, especially if you are rearing chicken. Chicken will always have coccidiosis, so make sure you are not sharing your poultry items with the rabbits, because it's transmitted through droppings, but it's also curable. Those are the diseases.
Those are the diseases. Hapa naona sahani zao za kulia. Hizi sahani pia naona kuna moja nimeshika hapa, naona ni nzito sana. Mbona ama lazima tu zitumie hizi?
Okay, we use the clay feeding bowls because they are a bit heavy. When we do the plastic and the metallic ones, when your rabbit steps on it, they usually spill whatever is inside. So you may think you gave your rabbit water in the morning and she or she stays the whole day without water. So the best way is to have the clay bowls, which are heavy. Your water is intact, the feeds are intact. Yeah.
Umezungumzia maji. Wanakunywa maji the whole day ama wanakuwa na specific time ya kunywa maji pia?
Okay, since our rabbits are feeding on dry feeds, they must have water in the cages throughout. Yeah, that is essential for digestion.
Now, safari imekuwaje? Manake you have told us that you started, then you went down for 6 months, then you came back. Nini kilikufanya mpaka ukasema awache pumzike kwanza na tena ukarudi kwa the same business?
Okay, when I started, I had done my cages in a cold area and in a weedy area. So my rabbits were dying of pneumonia. But then once I moved the cages to the right appropriate place, then that is how I came back. Because when I tried curing that pneumonia, I would cure, it comes back because I was not taking care of the weed. So I gave up for some 6 months, but due to passion, I started again.
So hapo umesema unajaribu kumaanisha kwamba lazima yule mwenye anatazama labda akitaka kuanza hii shughuli lazima kwanza apate enough education about on how he has to venture into this.
Okay, we always urge all those who want to venture into rabbit farming to first of all come for trainings, and we do farm trainings whereby you see everything practically. Then from there you are able to start and move on as we guide you so that your journey becomes smooth.
So you also give trainings?
Yeah, we give trainings here in the farm.
Now let's talk about the rabbit meat, the importance of the rabbit meat.
Okay. For one, rabbit meat is white meat, and we know that is what most doctors are recommending every person to eat. Then it's low in cholesterol, so even those people with diabetes, high blood pressure, it's the best for them. Then it is also a source of vitamin B12, which is also good for the body and growth. For small children, rabbit meat is the best because it's real meat without any fats. Yeah.
So you also recommend us that we should be taking rabbit meat.
Yeah, you should. Every person should be able to take rabbit meat. It's the best compared to all the other meats in the market.
Now let's talk about the manure now. Kinyesi cha hawa sungura na pamoja na mkojo, utaweza elezea nini kuhusiana na kinyesi pamoja na mkojo wa sungura?
Okay, when you are doing rabbits, they have several benefits apart from the meat. So we are able to get manure. Their droppings are the best when farming because they have high quantities of nitrogen. Then the urine, we use it as a pesticide and as foliar. So again, that one works in organic farming. When you are using the urine, we have to treat it. Direct application to the farm may make your crops get withered juu inachoma, but when you are mixing it, you do 1 liter of urine is to 10 liters of water. And again, like us here in the farm, we usually ferment our urine using molasses. Then we give it like 21 days. After 21 days, that is when you are able to add water and use it in the farm. The other benefit of we get from our rabbits is like when you slaughter them, their skins or the pelt, when treated, it is used to do saddles, handbags and mats. We also do the rabbit heads and the feet, whereby we crush those bones and we do dog feed for the dogs in our farm.
Labda kuna mtazamaji amejiunga na sisi, amepata programu ikiendelea. Unaweza waelezea, waambie tu ulianza vile ulitueleza hapa mwanzoni kwamba you started with around 7,000. Now we are talking about almost 500,000. Labda wapatie the journey kidogo tu.
When you start rabbit farming, I always tell farmers you can start from what you have. You don't have to have a huge amount of money for you to venture into rabbit farming. So once you start wherever you are, then you keep your numbers growing. You can give yourself like a duration, let's say a target of 2 to 3 years, 5 years, and maybe by that time you are able to achieve the numbers you want. So how you go about that, it's maybe by not selling your first production and the second production. So when your rabbits give birth, you take all those young girls born in the farm, promote them to be mothers, but again you have to get them a back that is not related to them, so that again you don't do inbreeding.
Kwa yule mtazamaji, huyu mkulima mwenye anatazama now, he wants ama labda they want now to venture into rabbit rearing, which breed do you recommend for them?
Okay, mostly here in the country we recommend people to do meat breeds, which are the New Zealand, the California Whites, Chinchilla, both American and Standard, Dutch, and Flemish Giant and Checkered Giants. Why we recommend those, it's because their meat ratio compared to the bone ratio, their meat ratio is higher.
Labda tu kutuonyesha jinsi ya kuhandle hawa sungura. How do we handle them? Manake nimeona kuna mwingine nimemwona umembeba sijui.
Okay, well, we say when you are holding your rabbits,
yes,
you are supposed to hold them by here. That is how you hold the rabbit, because when you do it using the ears only, then some of them might be so heavy. So you hold them by the back there, then you support down there and she's calm. She's calm.
Sasa kama huyu, how old is this one?
This one is 7 months. This is
7 months.
Flemish giant back, 7 months old.
The weight?
Weighing around 4.2 kgs.
4.2 kgs. So sungura yule ambaye amekomaa, how tunaongelea tuseme umri kama miezi ngapi hivi?
Okay, when you are selling for meat, usually say you offload your rabbits when they are 4 to 5 months. That way, when you are in commercial rabbit farming, it's a business, it makes economical sense. But once they go beyond the 5 months, then you may not be making any profits. So at 4 to 5 months, they are supposed to be 2.5 to 3.5 kgs. Yeah.
So wewe unawapeleka soko wakiwa already washachinjwa ama kuna vile unapeleka mahali wanachinjwa kule?
Okay, me I slaughter because I'm one of the buyers in the country. So I slaughter myself, then I take it wherever I'm taking it as meat. Yeah.
And how have people received this farming or rearing of rabbit?
People have embraced rabbit farming for several years now, because for one, it's a lucrative business whereby it doesn't involve you so much. Once you feed these animals and you keep them clean in the morning, then you are able to leave and maybe go and do some other work. Then maybe you come back and feed them again later in the evening. So it's a business that anybody can do, even those who are employed. It's not involving as such.
How much are we talking here? Kama huyu kishamuuza ni pesa ngapi?
Okay, when we are selling them as breeders have different prices. So like us here in the farm, we sell mature ones from 5 months and above at 3,000 shillings. Then the 4 months we do at 2,500. 3 months we sell at 1,500, and 2 months at 1,000. When again we are selling them for meat, okay, from the buyers we buy at a price of 500 shillings per kg meat weight. When we are selling, we do a price of around 600 shillings per kg meat weight.
600 per kg.
Yeah.
Hey. Anybody can venture into this.
Anybody can venture into rabbit farming. It's not expensive to start, and anybody can be able to buy rabbit meat, because if people can eat fish, if people can eat chicken, then I think our prices are also competitive.
Yeah. Okay. Kuna wale ama kuna yule mtazamaji wetu ametoka shule na anasema hakuna kazi. Na people, especially the current youth, most of them fear venturing into agriculture. What advice can you give them?
Okay, I would advise anybody who wants to venture into this that they can come for training. They can decide if this is a passion they have. I'm a youth coordinator. I do mentorships, and mostly the youths, I always tell them, have something to keep you busy. Even before you get that job that you have applied for, you can start rabbit farming at the backyard of your parents' house, and from it you are able to make some income. The youths I sell rabbits to, I always buy back from them, and that one makes them grow.
Kabla wewe mwenyewe kuventure into this, ulikuwa umesomea mambo na agriculture before, ama it's just you are passionate about agriculture?
Okay, I would say I'm passionate about agriculture, though my dad was an agricultural officer, and maybe I took it from him because I could see everything he was doing at home while he worked with Caro, and maybe that is how again I came now to to continue with whatever he was doing before. Yeah.
Okay. Yule mtazamaji wetu tu bado. Unajua hiki kipindi ni kwa sababu ya watazamaji wetu. Aanze na pesa ngapi? Ufugaji wa sungura.
Okay.
Yule wa kwanza mwenye anasema okay, wacha nijaribu pia. Okay. Anza kama pesa ngapi hivi?
Rabbit farming, you can start with the lowest amount. Let's say even of 5,000. You do not have to start with mature rabbits. You can start with 2 months and they grow in your farm up to 5 months or up to maturity. Then when you are doing your cages, you don't have to use expensive materials. You can use pieces of wood leftovers in the compound and construct some few cages and start from there.
Start from there. Okay, wacha nikurudishe nyuma tena kidogo upande wa chakula labda. Kuna specific places ambazo huwa mnanunua chakula?
Okay, we usually get our feeds from the farm feeds shops. There are several brands, so you buy whichever you feel is good for your farm. Yeah.
Na vaccination, sungura unahitaji kweli vaccinations?
Rabbits do not need any vaccinations apart from the ivermectin one for mites.
Okay. Ni hapi labda pia ungeweza zungumza zaidi kuhusiana na ufugaji wa sungura, manake ni wewe umebobea kwenye masuala ya ufugaji wa sungura. Labda kuna any information tumesahau nje mtazamaji wetu angependa kusikia?
Maybe what I can add on the feeds, when you are giving your rabbits the rabbit pellets, we do 100 grams per mature rabbit, 50 grams for 1 to 2 months. Then 3 to 4 months we do 70 grams. Then if you have a place where you can plant your hay, then the better for you, because you don't have to dig deeper into your pocket again to buy that hay. Any grass can do, provided it's dried and withered.
Asante sana Bi Ann. Umetupatia elimu nzuri sana kuhusiana na ufugaji wa sungura. Asante sana. Okay. Tunashukuru na tutazidi bado kutembeleana.
Okay. Asante.
Asante. Hivyo basi mpenzi mtazamaji, nadhani kwamba ushapata uhondo kamili, ushapata kila kitu ambacho labda ungependa ulikuwa unahitaji kuhusiana tu na ufugaji wa sungura. Hiki ni Kilimo Leo, kipindi ambacho huangazia tu mbinu zote za ukulima na huwa tunakuletea wataalamu ambao wamebobea kwenye masuala haya. Sisi ndio huongea mtazamaji, bali tunampatia yule mtaalamu ambaye amebobea kwenye masuala labda kama Bi Ann ambaye amebobea kwenye masuala ya ufugaji wa sungura, akupatie tu uhondo kamili jinsi utakavyoanza, labda endelea na ile shughuli ya ufugaji wa sungura, hata upanzi wa mimea. Mtazamaji, bado tu tunazungumza na wataalamu ambao wamebobea kwenye masuala hayo. Hivyo basi zidi tu kutufuatilia kwenye mitandao zetu za kijamii, Facebook, Twitter na Instagram. Kote tu utatupata ndani ya DGTV Kenya na utapata uhondo kamili kuhusiana tu na ukulima, iwe ni mbinu za kisasa. Mtazamaji, yote nakuletea kwenye Kilimo Leo. Shukrani za dhati kwa kutenga muda wako tu kuandamana nasi kuanzia mwanzo tu hadi tamati. Mimi nimefika ukingoni mtazamaji, na nitakuwa mchache tu wafadhili nisipotoa shukrani zangu kwa waelekezi wangu pamoja na wapiga picha wangu, tukianza na Joseph Okio pamoja na David Ngeche, bila kumsahau Timothy Njoroge. Kwa wewe mtazamaji nasema uwe na wakati mwema. Mimi ni Humphrey